Since 2020, the wealth of America's billionaires has grown by 88%. The median American worker's wealth has grown by 1%. Same country, same 5 years, completely different math. And the difference has nothing to do with billionaires being smarter. Nothing to do with you not working hard enough. And nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with a structural mechanism that compounds wealth automatically for those who already have it, that grinds it down for everyone else. A mechanism nobody has explained clearly until now. The popular explanation for rising inequality is that the rich are greedy, or that the system is rigged in some vague, conspiratorial way. The actual answer is much more uncomfortable. Because it is not a conspiracy, it is just math. The rules of a modern economy quietly favor people who already own assets over people who only have wages. And the favoring is not subtle. It is mathematical. It compounds every single year, and it accelerates as it goes. So it is time to learn how money works, to find out why the gap between the rich and the rest is mathematically guaranteed to keep widening. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that there are two completely different ways to make money in modern America. You can earn it through labor, which is to say, with a job. Or you can earn it through ownership, which is to say, with assets. Wages, the income from labor, have grown by roughly 25% in real terms over the last 40 years. Asset prices, the value of stocks, real estate, and private equity, have grown by over 600% in the same period. That is not a small difference. That is a structural divergence. The world built two separate economies, one for people who work, and one for people who own. The labor economy crawls forward at a few percent per year. When it grows at all, the asset economy compounds at 8 to 10% per year, on average. And here is the part that should make you uncomfortable. Anyone who owns enough assets to live off the returns instead of working gets to participate fully in the asset economy, while contributing nothing additional to the labor economy. They are, very literally, getting richer in their sleep, which brings us to problem number 2. And this is where the gap stops being just unfair and starts being mathematically explosive. When a billionaire wants to buy more assets, they don't pay cash. They borrow money against the assets they already own at extremely low interest rates, because banks consider their existing assets to be excellent collateral. The billionaire then uses that borrowed money to buy more assets, which appreciate further, which they then borrow against to buy even more assets. This is called leverage, and it is the engine of every modern fortune of meaningful size. Now, you can technically also use leverage, but the rules are completely different. Your mortgage, the only leverage available to most people, costs you 7% interest in 2026. A billionaire's leverage on an asset-backed loan costs them 2 to 3%, and the assets you bought with that mortgage typically grow at the rate of inflation, if you're lucky. The assets they bought grow at the rate of the entire asset economy. Same financial tool, fundamentally different results. And this brings us to the third problem, which is the one most political speeches dance around carefully, because both parties have voted for it, and neither party wants to clearly explain why. The United States tax code taxes income from labor at rates between 22 and 37% for most working professionals. The United States tax code taxes long-term capital gains at rates between 0 and 20%. Read that again. The money you earn by working is taxed at roughly twice the rate of money earned by simply owning things that appreciate. The official justification is that capital gains taxation must remain low to encourage investment and economic growth. The unofficial reality is that the people writing the tax code overwhelmingly earn through capital gains, not wages. Every year that this gap exists, labor income gets quietly transferred to capital owners, year after year, by tax design. Now here's the part nobody at any political rally really wants to say out loud. None of these mechanisms are illegal. None of them are even particularly hidden. Asset inflation, cheap leverage, and capital gains tax preferences are all openly written into the system. The reason this won't get fixed is that almost everyone with the power to fix it already owns enough assets to be on the winning side. The median net worth of a United States senator is over $1 million. The Federal Reserve sets policy that directly inflates asset prices, and Fed officials own assets. The donors who fund both political parties overwhelmingly earn through capital gains, not wages. The system isn't broken. It is working exactly as designed for the people who designed it. The fact that it slowly impoverishes everyone else is not a bug. It is just an externality. So why are the rich getting richer faster? Because the asset economy compounds at 10%. The labor economy crawls at 2%. Leverage is cheap if you already have assets. And the tax code charges you twice as much for working as for owning. That is not a conspiracy. That is not bad luck. And that is not because they work harder than you do. That is just the math of an economy that was redesigned decades ago to reward owning over working. If you want to understand the one move that converts you from a labor income earner into a participant in the asset economy, go and watch this video next. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.